So I'm sitting here for the Brewmasters Club podcast, Craft Brews Geek News with Kylo Ren, and that was a pretty informative trailer there. I think it was pretty interesting. Not sure how much that you saw, but what are your thoughts?
Well, obviously, I had a klutzy moment, and I destroyed my helmet. Pure accident. I'll probably get a new one.
But was it Grandfather's? That was your old one?
That was my old one.
Okay. So you still got Grandfather's safe.
Yeah, I might try that out, see how it looks.
Okay. I mean, that Ray girl though, she didn't mess you up too bad. You didn't have any scars. I mean, there's maybe a little yelling of the eyes.
I have a slight scar. It's a thin one, but nothing a little moisturizer doesn't fix.
Yeah, well, it's good. Olive Olay, they do some fantastic.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, amazing. I shop at Target and they have it, and it's great. The first order, I tell all my troopers, they need to use it. This is Kylo Ren, and you're listening to Craft Brews Geek News.
So welcome everybody to another episode of the Brewmasters Club cast. Here is what you have to look forward to in tonight's episode.
Only two things come from Mulberry.
And what's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now I'm good. But I ain't seen no horns on you.
I'll say, wait a second. This isn't real life.
Is it possible to get something like a fortune Wookiee where it's every single fortune is just like all caps and it's like, like spelled out.
That would be hilarious.
That's a great sign.
Deceptive like a rebel.
Hey-o.
Yeah, but
Or like a Bothan spy.
so
A lot of them died for this beer.
it's like I said, it's called Craft.
Everyone always likes a little tinge of the gin. I mean,
Oh, jeez. Speaking of too cool, these Christmas beers. Ew. Looking at the.
do you call it Crunkin?
No,
Like
pumpkin.
Crunkin.
Did it sound like Crunkin? Because that would be cool.
It would be cool. You should change it to Crunkin, Pumpkin, whatever it was.
I don't.
I quit.
Yeah, I just. Wait.
Upside
Upside down.
I know it's upside down, you idiots.
Well, yeah, I'm making suggestive airplane noises just like Dane here.
Right, we all can do that.
Wow.
So what that means, I don't know. Where does it come from? I don't know.
Where does he go? Where do you come from, kind of, Joe? Yeah.
Like the song suggests.
Where do you come from, kind of Snoke? Let's make a shirt. I have a scorecard up in front of us. I don't really have a scorecard. And I'm going to take notes on... I'm not taking notes.
It's the lightsaber, and she goes up to Luke, and they're on that rock thing. Rock Island, of course, is what it's called. And
It's called Octu.
and she pulls a pretty woman on him. And she goes, ooh, she just takes it back at the last second. Then smash cut. No, this would be an old Lobot in his elderly years.
Oh,
is
no.
transferring. And also it's revealed at the end that Snoke is he was in the Goonies.
Hey, you guys.
I just keep doing the pretty woman thing.
God.
She's not pretty woman Luke. She's not gonna pretty woman Luke. She's not gonna do it.
I don't know. It's fine. Whatever.
Hey, Dad, can you believe that they killed Han Solo? Dane just dragged his head and gives himself a swirly.
He was so mad.
He was so mad.
You crazy mother.
Welcome to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Sit back, pour yourself a pint, and let's get into it. Now here's the founder of the Brewmasters Club and your host, Donnie Gallagher.
Welcome, everyone. This is the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. My name is Donnie. Good evening. Nice to be with you all. We are the podcast that talks about national stories, local flavors, and our favorite geeky nuggets of pop culture. I am joined tonight by three divine and courteous young gentlemen. First off, Mr. Dane, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing great.
That's great.
Sounded.
So enthusiastic.
not also not to leave on anybody else, but Mr. Lossman, how are you?
Doing well.
That's great, man. And
I already used the word great.
Okay, we're not original here. We just state what we got to do. Mr. Ryan, how are you, sir?
Brood Boy 813. Very happy today. My Steelers won the North. So, yes, I'm very happy.
I see you're wearing your Steelers snuggie as well. It's
I'm
nice.
all decked out in my Steeler gear. Dane, if
Yeah,
you're
well,
trying to flick
that's,
me off, your hand's a little too high. I can't see you.
Boo. No comment.
Steelers are whatever, decide.
Yes.
It's good to see you guys. And first off, we have to apologize to everybody out there because our timeline has been a bit skewed. We typically do every 2 weeks, but for the last week and a half or so, there's been vacation, there's been trips, and Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner. We had a birthday party, the crawfish boil, which was an awesome time with Ryan's lime. I don't think we talked about it yet. Lime and coconut beer, which was amazing. But a lot of stuff going on. So again, I'd like to blame it on the holiday season, but we apologize for the unpredictable chaos that is the show. Just hang in there. We have a lot of great content. Ryan made a good point about putting the show or doing the show on a Monday, which is unusual, which is what we're doing now. But this is the Monday before the Force Awakens.
God damn it, Donnie.
This is the Monday before The Last Jedi. Yeah, I've been researching. I'm doing a lot of previous Star Wars knowledge and trivia. And as of Saturday, I'm imagine Dane, you're the same way. I've gone social media silent.
Yeah, shutting it down. Even like the commercials, they keep throwing in random scenes that I haven't seen before, and I'm like, what the heck? They're not in the trailers, nothing like that. I seen one the other day, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm shutting it down.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happened to me too. Like I was literally flipping through Twitter and I saw a screenshot of Poe and Leia talking, and that was the first time I saw that. And I was like, that's it. That's it. I'm off. I'm off.
Done.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. Last I assumed he was in the X-Wing flying around, so I don't know. I don't know. But
well, I'll tell you what I saw. I saw Rey standing there in some, I don't know what she was doing, but it looked like she used and grabbed freaking a rubber. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dane, yet hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, it was on the TV.
No, it was. I saw that too. I turned it off. I was like, no, stop
grab
it.
it. I'll say, wait a second. This isn't real life. But
thanks, Dane. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to avoid.
Hey, it's
Me too.
It's bathroom talk, okay? It's fun.
Hey, I am wearing headphones to the theater in honor of Dane this year.
Thanks.
That's actually
walking in there with earmuffs.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Can anyone get Princess Leia buns for all?
No, but Laos, don't you have access to earbuds? Don't you have access to earplugs? Can't you get a handful for us?
I can do that.
Can we all do that fake sign language like that one lady did just recently in the news? Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
They caught that serial killer out there in Seminole Heights, and they had a fake sign language lady in the.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's bad.
It's terrible. It was
they had a fake sign language lady?
Some lady snuck in and as they were announcing that they caught the serial killer, and she's all like doing the sign language, and the ladies that were actually deaf in there, which is not funny, are like, I have no idea what this lady is saying. Like, it was terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was absolutely. Anyway, sorry to digress there.
All right. Well, besides just going dark and whatever that story was,
it was.
We're going to be celebrating on Saturday because that's our ritual. We go as a group, and that's what we do. And even though the movie comes out on Wednesday night, or I guess Thursday, we're not going to see it until Saturday, and that's fine with me. I get it because that's what we do. But in the meantime, what we are going to do, which I encourage everyone out there who wants to celebrate, we're going to have some dinner, and I thought it might be fun to make it Star Wars themed. So we'll do some pork pot pies, Carolina treat pork chicken wings. Sounds good to me. Grand Moff tacos. You can devour when ready. I thought that was interesting. Or Ryan was going to bring some of the Yoda stew, which sounds great.
Yeah.
Gonna work on that.
we'll do all that. And I even thought if you guys were up to it, we could do the Force Awakens and have some audio commentary while we were having dinner, and then we could actually post that episode too if we actually got around to it or it was a thing. So we'll see how that works.
That's a thing.
Is it possible to get something like a fortune Wookiee where it's where it's just every single fortune is just like all caps and it's like, like spelled out.
That would be hilarious.
So it just left you wondering what the hell it was talking about.
Yeah,
dude, there is.
Absolutely.
I guarantee. Is that a thing? Can we make that a thing?
No, I just made it up.
We can make that a thing. I'm
make it a thing.
gonna cut it out of the episode so nobody else can steal that idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. People would buy the shit out of Wookiee cookies.
No, the cookies.
Or what'd you say?
Fortune Wookiee.
Fortune Wookiee. Yeah, both that too. I love it. They would buy it, especially if they were like little TIE fighters or something. That'd be cool.
Fortune Wookiees are that's a really good idea. All right, well, we'll see if that makes it or not.
We're all rich right now. We don't even know it.
And then Star Wars, Lucasfilm comes in and sues us all for stealing their copyright and their trademark. That's what would happen.
Way to kill
Ryan
that
touched
dream.
it last.
Ryan touched it last. All right. Well, we got not a lot of time to get into this stuff. So let's go quickly. First off, who brought something interesting to try tonight before we go on to the first one? The first story that we have, which is always going to be in our beer section. But before we get there, boys, what are you drinking? What are you going to drink? Lay it on the council if you can.
I would like to try the Sierra Nevada Wintertide. Is that what it's called?
I got one in my fridge. I can drink it for you.
It's
fantastic.
That's the same.
That's my next purchase.
Yeah, it's a good winter beer. In fact, we have some winter beers to try this winter season. So that's on this list as well as a couple other ones. Ryan, what do you got?
I actually I've got some of my own homebrew here. Kegged up the pumpkin cranberry with some cinnamon and nutmeg. I know, Donnie, when you guys had it at your birthday party, it kind of didn't take the same light as the coconut and lime. I think it needed a couple more days on CO2 just to get full flavored, but it's a lot better now, and you really get a lot of the pumpkin up front, and then the cranberries come in on the backside now with a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. So it's quite refreshing, to be honest with you. So
how much of that did you brew?
I did 5 gallons of it.
Oh yeah.
I only brought a gallon to your party because I was like, no, what did I bring? Like a 32-ounce growler. I kegged a gallon of it for the party, but it just didn't do the trick because it was in that little mini growler keg thing that I had. So, but no, it's really delicious. So
I'm glad it took on a life of its own. Lost Man, what'd you bring, Lost Man?
Yeesh. I just got Two Hearted because I love Two Hearted.
Great beer.
But earlier today, and I really wish I had a Pseudo Sue. That one I really liked. And I was like, I started telling the story and I got halfway through the story and I was like, wow. The other guy was like, yeah, he's like, kind of want one of those too. And I was like, well, this is not good. We're still at work.
Pseudo Sue was pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it was pretty good.
I just remember it so well. It was so tasty. But yeah, that's what I wish I had right now.
Next time you're out my way, the gas station by my house keeps those fully stocked all the time.
That's somewhat in a 4-pack cans.
Yeah.
And they're just an aggressive.
But what's funny is they put them into the make your own like craft beer 6-pack thing, and they don't realize that it's 16-ounce cans. So I just put like 1 or 2 of those in there every now and then because they still give me the 6-pack price. So.
Sick.
There you go, man.
There you go.
Don't tell my secret.
Stick it to the man, of course. Well, good. No, I don't have anything astronomically unique. I got the Rebel IPA, the Sam Adams. I like it. It's I was at a place called the Taps over the weekend at the International Mall, and they had a bunch of beers on tap that were interesting. And of course, the Coppertail Unholy, and Jenny tried a sour, and it just made me think. When I tasted this beer, it made me think of how spicy this Rebel IPA is. Like, they are not messing around with the hops and the just level of pine that you get out of this. It's pretty intense, which I didn't remember about it, but I don't know. Interesting beer. It's always good. Sam Adams are always fine. Pretty standard drinkable beers, but I always like it. So if you haven't had one in a while, try it because it's strong tasting. I think it's only 6.5%, but
a lot of IBUs.
Yeah, well, it's only
high in the IBUs.
High in the not that high IBUs.
Yeah, a decent amount of IBUs.
It's all right, but the thing we will be drinking in the future is going to be Ryan's Blue Milk. Am I right?
You are correct. It is in the kegerator right now. I'm cold crashing it to the best of my ability.
What does it taste like?
It's fantastic.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, that's really of the Belgium styles that I've brewed a couple of times now. This is probably the most full flavored one. Definitely got a good citrusy connotation to it, like with the oranges that I put in there. And I took out a little. It's a little less wheaty than the first time. I felt like the first time it was too even with the wheat because I use pound for pound with the wheat malt to the base malt. But so I took a little bit less, and I feel like that kind of gave it more distinctive flavors. So you can get wheat, but you can also get the other malts. So yeah, definitely.
Is it comparable to anything you've had before?
Oh, geez. Well, I can tell you it's 6%, so that's a good start. It's going to be nice, light, drinkable. Yeah, probably a little deceptive and smooth. You probably are going to want to have more than 2. So that's a good sign.
That's a great sign.
Deceptive like a rebel.
Hey-o!
Yeah.
Or like a Both and Spy.
So, a lot of them died for this beer.
It's like I said, it's cold crashing now. I'm going to keg it on Wednesday. So it'll sit 2 days on CO2, actually 2.5, and then we'll be bringing a ton of beer over. I don't know if I'm going to transport the whole keg or not yet, but maybe. We'll see. It depends on how much you guys want to drink.
No, just bring what you can. But I know I got a couple of your guys' growlers at the house, actually. I think I have one still in the fridge. I think I have one of yours, Ryan, one of yours, Nick. So
did I leave one there?
Maybe not. I don't know. I just know that I have 3 more growlers that I don't have.
Well, I have a 64-ounce growler and 2 32s, so I'll probably just fill those up and call it a day.
Fill those bad boys up.
That's a gallon of beer. So we'll see.
Sick. All right. Well, speaking of a lot of beer, I went to the 1821 launch party last week. Did you guys hear that episode? We put it up from Neil Callahan, he's the El Lector of the Cigar City Brewing company, and they were out there with a tap launch. As what we do is to try to support local beer best we can, and part of doing so was going to this launch party to support Cigar City. The biggest piece out of that information, not only was that beer pretty good, if you want to try the 1821, I put this cap of a table beer on it because I think that's a resurgence of beers that you can drink multiple beers of while you're sitting at the table, right? For dinner, for whatever. Ryan, we first went to, was it 610? The brewery where he talked about the Belgian beer that was a table beer, and it was like 3.5% or 4%, and you could have 5 or 6 of them, in a sitting.
Yeah, I think it was actually 5 or 6, something like that. But yeah, it was a beer that it was a Belgium that you could drink throughout the day, and yeah. Yeah,
and that's what this reminded me of, because it wasn't. My wife asked. She said, "Was it like a Miller Lite? Was it like a Bud Light?" It really wasn't. It was a flavorful beer. Like, it was a craft beer. It had the flavor, it had the taste. It was all there, but it wasn't overpowering, and it wasn't. He mentioned the invasion. The invasion that Cigar City makes, which is modeled after the High Life, just a little less strong. I didn't think it was that kind of beer. I thought it had its own flavor and its own taste. It was just a little bit different. So I liked it. But if you want to try it out, you got to go to McDidden's or Yard of Ale or Cigar City Brewing to try it out in the tap room. So very cool, and very cool of Cigar City to invite us out to the tap launch and have us or spend some time with us to support that. So if you want to check it out, I think it was the last episode. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it sounded like they were noticing something like whether it be a pattern of drinkers or, different styles that people like to drink. And, from what Neil was talking about, it was almost like they were trying to put that out there that you could have, as you said, a table beer, but not just for the craft beer person, maybe even for somebody that you bring into a craft beer brewery that doesn't know what craft beer is. Like, take my mom's boyfriend, for example. He is an avid Budweiser drinker. He drinks Budweiser start to finish. That's the only thing. We went out to Woodbright and tried to find a style that was comparable, and he ended up liking it. So maybe this is Cigar City's way of saying, hey, we're not just about making these high potency beers, which they do have a lot of, a lot of different stouts and a lot of different IPAs, but, we want to be for the casual drinker as well. And I felt like Neil did a great job describing the beer itself to the point that I could bring people that don't drink craft beer and they might actually segue into it. So
It reminded me of your conversation with the lady who was drinking Bud Light, and you were like, "Oh, try the Last Snow." I almost brought that up in the conversation, but I was like, he's probably not going to be able to comment much on the Last Snow. Although Neil's pretty genuine. You can ask him just about anything; he'll tell you his opinion. So
same thing with that lady, and maybe she would love the 1821.
I think she would. Like I said, I think
find her.
I think my wife would. I think your wife would. I think anybody that, like you said, if you're trying to get somebody into craft beer, it's and that's the conversation that I had with Neil. It was that when you thought craft beer 2, 3, 4 years ago, you were like, oh, that peach, whatever the Budweiser commercial was, peach schnapps yellow IPA or whatever. I thought that was pretty funny that we've made this transition to where they're not so aggressive, and now beers are trying to come back to letting those who may not be a blackberry smoked porter, fan to drinking craft beer again.
Yeah, definitely. And not everybody likes sours or gozas, but I think that's kind of like my table drink. I like gozas. They're 3.5%, something like that. So that can appeal to people too. But yeah, perfect. I can't wait to try it. I got to get out there.
It's funny. The other thing, the last piece on that, Lindsay from JJ Taylor, who invited us out there with Cigar City, was telling me that JJ Taylor just signed on Florida's second or maybe even first 100% sour brewery. And I don't remember the name of it, but it's like literally the first, top 5 in the state, first 5 in the state that are strictly sours, which is very interesting.
Inoculum?
I just don't like sours. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's called Inoculum. That was it. All right. So moving on right along, I just want to mention one quick thing, just because this was news last week. Like I said, we're a little bit late on our news here. I wanted to bring up one thing about since we're a craft brew, podcast. We talk about different breweries that kind of progress through the shelf life that is craft breweries. But Avery is one of them that has now fallen from grace, as in that they've sold about 30% of their company to AB InBev, which is a shame because Avery had a lot of cool beers that I really liked. I don't know if you guys know any of the ones from Avery. Their White Rascal was one of my favorites.
Didn't have that one, but at Hunapoo Day last year, they had some Imperial IPA, and I was like, give me the Imperial. And the guy gave me the Imperial, but that was the Imperial, stout that was barrel aged. And I was like, that's not an Imperial IPA. He's like, oh, you wanted that one? I was like, yeah, I wanted the IPA. I didn't want the barrel aged. It was like 17.5%. But that's my only taste of Avery right there.
I liked him, but, to each his own. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, he sold 30%, so they're still in most control, but that won't probably last long. We'll see.
All right, moving on. So we talked about a couple. We are walking into the winter season here. As Dane mentioned, there's a good winter beer out by Sierra Nevada. It's called the Winter Tide, and it is pretty delicious. I haven't had it this year. I had it last year. It is a delicious beer, but I wanted to run through just real quickly 6 beers here that they had for the winter selection, and then we can talk about if you guys have had either one. First off, we'll start with the Sierra Nevada Winter Tide. Ryan, have you had this before?
I've bought about 4 of the variety 12 packs at my local Publix, so yes, I have.
I liked it. It's a winter warmer,
honestly.
Is it really for winter beers?
Oh my god, it's so good. It's really, you get nutmeg. I think I shared it a couple weeks ago on the cast. You get, or maybe I took a picture and sent it to you guys. I can't remember now. But you get cinnamon, you get nutmeg, you get the I'm not sure about the ginger, but you get all that stuff. Yeah, it's just a fantastic
Sounded
blend.
like you're targeting the ginger there, but we'll just move on.
No. Very friendly to the gingers.
Everyone always likes a little tinge of the ginge. I mean,
Can you buy that stuff by itself, or does it come in that snow pack?
It's in the snow pack, yeah. I mean, unless you open the box and just make it look like it's a nifty 6-pack.
I've seen it.
Just put
I've seen a 6-pack of them. I think winter is my least favorite time for beer. Like, I like fall, I like summer, I like spring because they make all these crazy beers. But winters, it's always like porters and heavy stuff.
Same stuff.
It's not, not to take away from the winter beer here, but in that variety pack, you can get the Holiday Haze IPA, which is very good, and I've been kind of drinking that as well. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I do like. I mean, I like the flavors. I like to try it out. And when it's cold and you have a fire pit and you're outside, it's real nice. I get that. But we live in Florida. We had our first freeze yesterday, and it was real chilly.
It was.
I got to wear a jacket.
Yeah, I dusted mine off in the closet too.
But for Dane, I mean, up there in North Carolina, South Carolina, I can't remember.
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina. I mean, it gets cold. I took this winter rail to Georgia for Thanksgiving, and I was freezing my buns off. So I can only imagine how perfect it would be up there, around a fire, some s'mores.
Yeah, Saturday when I was down there, it was like maybe 50 something, and all the Floridians were freezing their butts off. And I was running around in a tank top. So
yeah, aren't you cool?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, looking real normal.
Forgot where you lived for a couple years of your life.
Yeah, totally forgot.
All right,
Dane's too cool for the weather.
Yeah, screw you, weather.
Speaking of too cool, these Christmas beers. Looking at the Mikkeller Red White Christmas. I've never had one of these. I don't know if you guys have, but it was described as a gypsy brewer. Mikkeller, always reliable, winner pick. Anybody had this before?
Negative.
Moving on. The Waybacker 22. Anybody had that one? 11.5%. That's pretty strong. Booze the Holiday Cocktail, vanilla, nutmeg, cinnamon, orange peel, and a wonderfully played notes of brown sugar and caramel. That sounds kind of good.
Weyerbacher's
sounds like
got
a
some
candle.
good beers out there. I just haven't had.
What did I say? Weyerbacher? How did I pronounce it? I don't
You
know.
could say it however you want. Dane, how do you say it?
Roll the tape back.
Yeah.
Weyerbacher.
Weyerbacher. We'll go with that one. Weyerbacher 22. I'm guessing 22 is from the 11.5 or 11.1% alcohol. I don't know.
It's from the Jump Street.
Or maybe it's from
Throwing it out there.
Weyerbacher's 22nd anniversary. that one.
Nope, my thing.
All right. Brew Hub.
That's my thing.
Boss, this is right in your backyard. Brew Hub. The Triptych. Brew Hub Triptych. Not technically a winter. No, not technically a winter beer. Brew Hub Lakeland, the land of lakes. It's Swan Good Place. Brew Hub celebrated its 3rd anniversary in October with this beer, a blend of 3 heavy hitters: smoked Baltic Porter, Imperial Stout, aged 16 months in Caribbean rum, Woodford Reserve barrels, and coated in a reduction of maple syrup, cinnamon, and vanilla. That sounds pretty sick, Wells. You need to go try that, man.
Yeah, that sounds real good. They do like a growler fill Wednesday too.
Yeah, well, go check it out. Go on Wednesday.
Go there right now.
Go there right now. You reach.
Okay, well,
Right now.
That's just
I better leave.
crazy
That's a crazy
combination
blend
of things. Yeah, that's. Ugh.
That sounds really intense though. Smoked Baltic Porter, Imperial Stout, aged 16 months on. Say barrel aged, man. It's gonna be boozy. It's gonna be with maple syrup too. Cinnamon and vanilla, like that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, Southern Lights Holiday Porter. Go ahead. Sorry, Loss.
No, I was just gonna say it sounds like like a beer from Elf. It was a bad joke. That's why I stopped.
Right on you. Next time, just say banana. That's the code word.
Bananas.
Southern Lights Holiday Porter is the next one here. It comes out of Clearwater. Sounds good. Robust porter with cinnamon sticks, nutmeg, vanilla, beans. It's a quintessential winter beer, a combo. Good news is it's purchased for growlers at the tasting room on Gulf to Bay Boulevard in Clearwater. The next one we did have when we were at our good friend Christian's place there at Brew, the Tampa Bay Brewing Company Gingy Imperial Porter. Now, do you guys remember that beer when we were there for our last episode, number 55?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Gingy. I don't remember loving it. I remember, Nick, did you like it, or Ryan, did you love it? I think somebody loved it. It wasn't me.
I liked it. I like it. I think I was just playing along with the name, if I'm honest. I mean,
I actually had it again. It's still on tap there, or was still on tap. I had another taste of it. If you like gingerbread cookies, this is your beer. But I really think this is a candidate for making a gingerbread beer float. So just throwing that out there if you want to, have something different. But no, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not.
I like the name.
Well, the last one we have here is the Grindhouse Brew Lab Get Scrooge. That one is a Clearwater brewery here, so right a local beer. The Get Scrooge, the Berliner Weiss which is perhaps the opposite of a winter seasonal, but it's flavored with ginger, cranberry, and I'm not sure if that qualifies it as a winter beer, but I won't tell if you won't.
Well, and don't forget, you can always come down to Sobrew, aka my garage, and try my pumpkin cranberry if you really. No, just kidding.
Do you call it Crunkin?
No,
Like
pumpkin.
Crunkin.
Did it sound like Crunkin? Because that would be cool.
It would be cool. You should change it to Crunkin, Pumpkin, whatever it was. It'd be
Sure.
great.
It's a valid suggestion.
I like it. We'll go with that.
Whose beer wasn't it? Wasn't it Ashley's beer, or was it Cora's beer? Whose beer is that beer?
Well, Cora can't drink. No.
No, but somebody helped you make it.
Oh, what was my
Your other daughter?
No, actually, so my buddy Joe,
Your daughter Joe. I got it.
runs and manages a local pub. He had suggested doing a pumpkin and raspberry, and so I did that first. But this one was the second rendition. I changed the raspberries to cranberries, and it was perfect. So, Lost Man, I like the name. So
Yeah, man.
I was looking for
what I do.
names, so there it is.
There?
Yeah, the Crunkin raspberry.
Still
The
need one
Crunkin?
for the coconut and lime, though.
Nope, that's all right. That's mine. I get to call it. I'm resonating. I'm gonna make it something perfect. When I
Make it
know it,
again. Next time I make it, then we can talk about it. Okay. All right.
I'll
I'll get your name.
I'll have something to you before then. But I think that once we just get in a room, we can hash it out. Really talk about it. We'll figure it out.
Sounds good. What were you saying, Dano?
Talk old turkey.
I was gonna say Donnie's crime scene. That's what you should name it.
If I did a red version of it, maybe that might be-
What? Why crimes? What?
Yeah. What do you say? Lime and what?
Coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Steve from
okay.
coconut. I'm from lime. There you go. Crime. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
How about
Put the check in the mail.
You took the C. You took the L off. And,
Yep. All right. Yeah, we can all read through the lines there. All right. Anything else in the beer stories, guys? Because we're at the halfway point, but we need to keep moving.
Oh, we're moving.
All right.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, we're moving. All right. So we have reached the point of the show, our famous segment, Geek News, Drink It In or Send It Back. First story here. Dane, I don't think we've talked to you about this one yet, but did you know that there is a Super Mario cereal coming out from Kellogg's?
You may have mentioned it before.
Well, it's not here, so I can't. Well, I guess it is.
Not yet. Almost.
Cereal boxes are hitting the shelves tonight, December 11th. So it's a Christmas miracle. But the coolest part about this is that the box itself is an amiibo, which I think is very interesting. So if you guys don't know amiibos, basically, Ryan, you can take the box and
Thank you. I was thinking to myself, what the fuck is an amiibo? And you're like,
it's a Zuzu. It's a Zuzu.
Oh.
No, it's not a Zuzu. I'm just kidding. It's like a scanner thing. You use the controller, your remote control that you control the game with, then you can scan the product thing, and it gives you stuff in the game. Like it gives you a loot. Yeah, it's weird, but Nintendo's just finding a way to like monetize their games with little tchotchkes. But hey, awesome! I'm buying that cereal just for that, so it's all good. I'm gonna look at my local Publix today.
He's gonna have like 18 of them in the cart.
Yep.
These boxes are.
So I'm gonna do it today because I want some amiibos. I want some hearts and stuff. Anyways. Hey, Dane. Speaking of amiibos, guess what came out like 2 days ago for The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild?
DLC number 2.
Whoop, whoop. Number 2. Have you tried playing it yet? It's impossible.
Yeah. It's
oh boy,
tough.
Oh boy. So you guys that don't have the Zelda on Switch. The first one came out and I was like, oh, the trials are awesome. And it was basically you revert back to the first DLC for Zelda was there's gear and stuff, but you put the sword in the stone and then all of a sudden you revert back to like a level, and you go to you start at level 1, you have nothing on, you have no weapons, and you got to build your way up. And so I was like, oh yeah, I got through level 6, 7, 8. How far did you get, Dane? Like, what's the farthest level you got in the Master Trials?
Like probably right around the same, 7.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is really fun. I'm sure I was almost there. There's 40-something levels that you have to beat. I'm like, how
I quit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is fun. I'll just put this away
I'll watch
for a
someone
rainy
else
day.
do it on YouTube. It's fun.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, I'm just gonna put this away for a rainy day. I was like, okay, so the DLC number 2, that'll be the DLC. I got it. I got this one.
Yep.
So this DLC comes out. It came out like literally 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And so I started playing it without reading anything about it. I was like, oh, you get a weapon, like it's a one-shot kill. So it's a sword, but it looks like a trident. And so when you swing it, you everything you hit just dies instantly. Like, oh, this is gonna be sick. When you pick it up, have you played this, Dane?
No, not this part.
So when you pick up this isn't a spoiler, it's just what it is. When you pick up the weapon, your health drops to a quarter of a heart. So you have a one-hit weapon in your hand, but if anything hits you, you also die, including like residual fire or explosion or falling from anything larger than like 10 feet. So I was like, well, like I died 13 times just trying to get to the first new dungeon. I was like, oh my god. So that might just wait for anything too. Once you beat that, you actually get a motorcycle, which makes perfect sense. Yeah, Zelda's first motorcycle. It's really cool. But anyways, yeah. Are you following
the master cycle?
The master cycle. Wait,
zero, which means there's probably an upgrade.
Perhaps.
Is it
like a gasoline powered? Yeah.
Is it potion powered or
no? It's just
yes, Ryan.
It's Guardian powered.
It's literally just a motorcycle. Yeah.
Is it necessary though? Like, what happened to the boots? Like, just give them something to run faster with or something. I mean,
it's just a fancy cycle that has the same look as all these Guardian
Harley?
things. No, I don't know.
Ryan, you can't just take a Skyrim word and put it in front of a normal word.
What about the flute? Where do you get the bird? It takes you from diamond
There's
to
just a certain
diamond.
Bird flute.
There's a certain steampunk look to things in this game, and that's what this motorcycle looks like.
Appealing to
it's
the
cool.
Why a motorcycle? I don't know, but it is cool.
It is cool.
I do want it.
Cool. Yeah, I do want it too. But you have to beat everything first, which is sucky. It's real hard.
Can you take your sword out and slash people as you're driving?
Yeah.
You can. Oh, okay. Then that's
and you can shoot
Grand Theft Auto Zelda right there. Link right there.
You can use the bow and arrow too. Yeah. And you can just be coasting. You bicycle you just ghost ride the whip and you just push.
I think it has a horse head on it or something. It looks like a horse.
Yeah, it's like half a horse. I don't know. But you can do jumps and flips and all sorts of ramp stuff. So anyways, whatever. I want to get it. But by the time you've gotten there, you've already gotten the one-hit kill weapon, which is also sick. And then you get all your hearts back. So I don't know. Anyways, we didn't come here to talk about Zelda. Boys and gentlemen, we came here to talk about one thing. And it's something like this. Wait,
upside down.
I know it's upside down, you idiots. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about. This is a great audio.
I want a poster.
We're talking about the last.
Oh, I know why you did that upside down.
Jedi.
I know why you did that upside down.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks is there.
Yeah,
technically.
Jib Jab Binks.
Jib Jab Binks.
Can you not see the Jar Jar in this?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
All right. Anyways, what we're talking about this evening is The Last Jedi. So while we still have a few minutes of your time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to explain our. Get ready for this, Loss. It's our famous segment. You know what it is?
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Tosche Station Speculation.
Oh,
Station. Speculation Tosche Station.
Yeah. I like that.
I want to get into everybody's innards here. I want to hear what they think, what you're smelling on, what you're feeling. Ryan Johnson said there's a 3-hour cut. Are you excited for that? Are you not excited for that? We can start there.
3-hour cut. What is a cut?
Well, basically, like every movie that DC has made, which is done poorly, when they release a 3-hour to try and entice you to go back to the movie theaters and pay for it again. That's what they're doing. But Ryan Johnson is saying, don't go to the 3-hour cut. The best cut is the 2.5-hour cut that he actually made for the movie. So what Ryan Johnson's saying is that when he went into the cutting room, there was a 3-hour version of the movie that was then condensed, taking out a half an hour of footage and condensing it to a theatrical version of 2.5 hours. I think that's awesome. 2.5 hours, pretty good runtime for a movie. The fact that there is a 3-hour cut out there makes me wonder what they cut out of the movie.
Well, yeah, I'm making suggestive airplane noises just like Dane here.
Right, we all can do that.
Wow. Going for the gold on the propeller there. No,
All you hear was
fantastic. That's all you need. No, but so a 3-hour cut. I mean, it's Star Wars. I'd watch them all go to the space DMV. I've said that before. Like,
are you gonna wait for the Blu-ray? Just don't even go watch it. Just wait for the Blu-ray.
No, too late. I bought tickets already.
Yeah.
Like I'd watch them all just go to like the space supermarket. Like it's fine with me. Like I don't care. You don't need to get rid of any of it. Just give me it all.
I totally agree. I mean, I don't know what the 3-hour version would have. I agree that the
Space Walgreens.
Well, he said he took out like entire scenes.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So
yeah, that's nuts. That just makes me think. I mean, well, and you guys know that like this movie of the recent Star Wars movies, I'm very excited about because the Rian Johnson thing. Plus, he was released as having the next 3 movies, which are not going to be necessarily related in the Star Wars universe. So I think that's also very cool. But I'm very excited to see where this is going to go. A 3-hour version, I don't know. That's a lot. Hopefully they release it on the Blu-ray, right? Like cut behind the scenes or deleted scenes.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said expect that on the Blu-ray.
Now you know what they're gonna do first is they'll have this movie. Then 2 months from now they'll release the Blu-ray. Then they'll release 2 months later a second Blu-ray that's got 30 minutes of extra footage. Which I'm like,
is it on Netflix?
That's why.
Oh no, because Disney pulled out.
The appropriate strategy is to buy it on Google because it'll be like $14 when it first comes out, and then you buy the Blu-ray later on, which is full price. And then you own it twice.
Boom.
That's the secret. So you spend $45 for the movie.
Count me out.
Yeah. Before we get into full blown, or you just buy the movie once and you watch the extended cut or whatever on YouTube, which it'll probably be. Before we get into because I want everybody's predictions. I want Laos's predictions. I want Ryan's predictions. I want Dane's predictions, and I'll give you mine, of course. The last story that we had from when I disconnected the internet from my house was that they interviewed Benicio del Toro. I'm sorry. They interviewed Andy Serkis, who is the mocap actor behind Snoke.
Sorry, there was Benicio del Toro and that other name was just not even in the same boat. I'm sorry.
They're both weird names, man.
I'm sorry.
That's no Snoke.
You can cut that out, but I'm sorry. That was like way.
No, I'll leave it in. It's fine. Anyways, the man who played Snoke himself was asked how powerful Snoke is, and he replied back that he has more resources and is more powerful than Vader and the Emperor. So Laos and Dane specifically, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that quote. And that's literally like what he said was he's more powerful than Vader and the Emperor and has more resources at his disposal. So what do you think that means? Or did you not hear that quote before now?
I've heard that, but I didn't know the actual actor said that. And what I take from that is maybe I'll get into that when I talk about what I think this is going to pan out to be. Because what I think is going to happen kind of plays into what that could mean. So,
what does he mean by he's got more resources? Like he's got more buddies with cool stuff, like some gear. What is that? He knows a guy with way more trees than everyone else. Like,
yeah, that's the thing that I don't really understand. So let me read you the exact quote. So this is the world premiere on 12/10. Serkis said, I think Supreme Leader Snoke would say he's more powerful than Darth Vader. He's egotistical and narcissist. So yes, I think he believes himself to be so. However, it's his divine right to be leader. He has limitless resources and a massive military capability, which isn't working. And that's deeply frustrating. There's this sense of force and energy that's coming toward him, and he seeks to undo him, which is terrifying. He feels vulnerable, and he will do anything to stop it, which makes him even more dangerous and deceptible than Darth Vader. That's what he said at the premiere. So that's pretty interesting. That's a relevant new piece of news that just happened 11 minutes ago. They updated this article. So this came from Half Moon Bay Review.
Interesting. Well, Serkis came out and said that Snoke is not a Sith. right? So he's not a Sith,
Right.
but he's the ultimate embodiment of the dark side. So what that means, I don't know. Where does he come from? I don't know.
Where does he go? Where do you come from, Kana Joe?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the song suggests.
Where do you come from, Kana Snoke? Let's make a shirt.
I can do that.
Maybe he drains power from others. And if he has this limitless army, he just drains their powers.
I still read that the same way. I read that as resources. I think that he's got some sort of power, but his resources are this vast army that has been unperforming.
Yeah, and he can just tap into it whenever he pleases.
I don't know.
Like a Settlers of Catan type of feel, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of resources.
Exactly. Like I consider it more Cones of Dunshire, but that's just me.
Oh, Cones fan, all right.
You're a Cones man, a Conehead.
A Conesman? You're a Conesman? Oh, yes.
All right. We're running out of time. So that's good speculation. But I'd like everybody's book report. Laos, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first to outline what I expected of each of you to supply?
You go first.
All right. So I'm going to give you Ryan, I'm sorry. Did you have a question or anything?
Oh, no, I'm just listening.
Oh, no.
I think everyone is listening to this podcast that they're listening to.
That's why I'm listening.
Well, Ryan, you get to go last then. So what I'm going to paint a picture of what I think this movie is going to look like. This is how we're going to do it. I have a scorecard up in front of us. I don't really have a scorecard. I have a scorecard up in front of us, and I'm going to take notes on. I'm not taking notes. I'm going to take notes on what everybody has to say about how this movie is going to turn out. And we'll see if our three theories are the same or different, and then Ryan can overlay his opinion on any one of the theories, and you can choose, Ryan, and you can supplement any theory you want. Okay?
Deal.
Can they be as ridiculous as possible?
Yes.
Yes, they can. And it doesn't really matter because we have 10 minutes to get through three of us plus Ryan's commentary. So I'm going to go quickly. Dane, do you want to go first? Laos already subdued his first forego. Do you want to lead your theory first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. All right. I'm going to break it down real quickly. This is what I think is going to happen. Scene. I'm going to act out everything right now with Jenny and Emma. Oh. No, I'm just kidding.
With costumes?
With costumes. Hold on. There's a little stage break. Move the sets in.
Lights.
No, I think from the museum, right?
Okay, so Force Awakens ends. She hands Luke the lightsaber, right? Obviously, they're going to have some sort of a squabble. He's going to push back. She's going to insist that he trains her. She does some training on her own, maybe. Then Luke tests her with something. They, again, get into the squabble here. The middle pieces of this movie, I think, is what the trailer showed off, where, like, the Rebel fleet is on the run after destroying Starkiller Base. So, smash cut. They are getting chased now by the First Order, which is where Kylo comes in, and he's got his finger on the trigger. Leia's in the starship, and something's happening, but he decides not to take her out. He eventually comes back to Snoke's space station, which is this gigantic Death Star space station, not a Death Star, but a space station or a Star Destroyer. It's just massive. Kylo comes in. Clearly, Snoke is pissed off at him, so he gets pissed off at him, and decides that he's just going to take his licks, and then later does this tween thing where he gets all pissed off. I think eventually they go, and maybe it's part of that same battle where they get the map to where Luke Skywalker is. So they find him on Octu. Maybe there's a battle there. Luke, Chewie, Rey all hop in the Millennium Falcon and escape somehow after some sort of fight there. Possibly not with Kylo Ren. I'm not sure who will be there, but they all evacuate. They get away. Eventually, Rey and Kylo meet again. Perhaps it's them trying to attack Snoke's ship, not sure, but the two of them have some sort of conversation, and Kylo says, listen, I'm pissed off at Snoke too, let's go fight him together. I think that Kylo and Rey will eventually square off against Snoke. I think that Luke will be somewhere else. I think those two will get to a point where they're fighting Snoke real hard, and now that little spoiler that Dane just told me that was in the trailer just keeps popping into my head and ruining my theory. But I think somewhere in there, I don't think they kill him. I think that he shows a huge force against the two of them, and they team up to take him out. I don't know if they take him out, but I think that something happens where he does the Vader spiral off into the universe or escape pod or something where he's gone for a moment. But I think the two of them say, hey, like, we can do this and we can lead the galaxy. And I think that his assistance to Rey and tries to get her to her side. That's when Luke shows up, and then there's some sort of battle there. So I think the end of the movie will end with probably Kylo, I don't know about going down or Kylo trying to make amends to come back to the light, but I think there's going to be some sort of epic power struggle there where Kylo's a piece of it. Not totally sure, but I think that Snoke will either be dead or be spiraling off into nowhere space by the end of it. And I think it's going to leave the rebels in turmoil. And I don't know what will happen, but I think that they'll be split. So that's my theory. Who wants to go next? 3 minutes, by the way. That was 3 minutes. So go ahead.
Just that every time you mention the spiraling away, just a quick interrupt. The Robot Chicken, Star Wars, they had a great little bit where Darth Vader had found a quarter that he had lost a week prior, and he's spinning her away. And he's like, there's that quarter from the other week.
Yeah,
and it's just, he's trying to get it, and it just doesn't work out. And then, hilariously enough, the club soda dispenser that he had installed also breaks. So his TIE fighter, his advanced TIE fighter, is spiraling out of control with club soda and quarters. And he can't do anything about it because he's strapped in.
Crap. I am in trouble. Ooh, there's that quarter I dropped earlier. This is gonna drive me bananas. Gotcha. Oh, missed it. Gotcha. Oh, missed it. I have you now. The club soda dispenser. Hell. They told me it was a bad idea and I didn't listen. Then I choked them with magic. Oh, man. Oh, this is nauseating. Oh, I think I have some Dramamine in my shaving kit. Nope, that's hotel soap. Whoops. Well, that's what I get. I never use that hotel soap, but I steal it every time.
Scene. Sorry. Every time you mentioned it, I just died a little bit because I was like, that's the best thing ever. It's the best visual.
All right.
Sorry.
Louse or Dane, what do you guys pick? Heads or tails? Pick it right now.
Tails.
Heads then. Right?
It's heads. Louse, you got to go first.
Cool. All right. So jumping off your bit there. So it's the lightsaber, and she goes up to Luke, and they're on that rock thing. Rock Island, of course, is what it's called. And and she pulls a pretty woman on him, and she goes, ooh, she just takes it back at the last second. This, of course, angers Luke. You know, just
because he just paid for
Rock
that.
Island. Yeah, I know. He came to Rock Island to hang out and drink a bunch of beers. I don't know. Fast forward a little bit, and yeah, I think there's going to be some turmoil between. Well, there's obviously going to be turmoil. I think Kylo and Rey are going to be like best buds for a little bit, and then they're going to try and team up, do some cool stuff. That weird little Pokemon guy is going to be flying around in Millennium Falcon. It's going to be great. The Porg, I believe is his name. Yep, that guy's going to be awesome. And then Smash Cut. No, this would be an old Lobot in his elderly years.
Oh, no.
Transferring his mind into a younger Lobot, and then it's just the Lobot Chronicles. It's like the Chronicles of Riddick. He gets like Riddick glasses, and then that's it.
All right,
it's gonna be great. Space battles. Princess Leia is totally gonna die. I mean, that's what happens.
See, I totally left.
I
totally left Canto Bight, the casino scene, which is where Finn and Rose have to go to find a way to get onto Snoke's ship. That's what I forgot about, was the Canto Bight. But anyways, yeah, your theory sounds good too.
And also, it's revealed at the end that Snoke is he was in the Goonies.
Hey, you guys.
Him going, just being angry and salty. Yep, that's it. That's how that ends.
All right. Well, that's great. That 3 minutes, right on point. Thanks for that. Dane, do you have a semi-valid theory?
Okay, so I've thought about this a lot. I had two different theories. I've kind of come to a point where I'm going to go with one theory and not the other, because the other theory was kind of far-fetched in my mind after I thought about it. But anyways, I think the movie obviously is going to be a stepping stone into the third and final chapter. So I think we're going to see a lot of backstory. I think we're going to see a lot of backstory of Luke and how he kind of got to this point. I think we're going to see him, maybe not because Mark Hamill's kind of older. Maybe they won't show his face as much, but they'll see him traveling, trying to find the last Jedi temple. I think they'll show the bad guys kind of chasing after him. He obviously ends up at this island. I can't remember the name of the island.
Rock Island.
Yeah, but this
Octu. It's called Octu.
Yeah, so this particular place, Donnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's where maybe the Jedi began.
The Force Tree, yeah, the original. Yeah, the original.
So that's where he's at now. But I think there's going to be a lot of, and you kind of seen in the trailer where you see Luke holding on to R2-D2 with his mechanical hand, him watching his Jedi school burn to the ground by Kylo Ren, etc. I think we're going to see a lot of that, and then what's going to play with Rey and Kylo Ren. I think Kylo he wants to kill Leia, but he doesn't. And then I think Leia gets killed by somebody else. Who that somebody else is, I think we'll see. Is it Snoke? Maybe. But he's not going to be the one to kill her. And he's going to see it, or he's going to hear about it, and he's going to kind of turn the tide. And I think it's going to be Snoke, because I think he's going to turn the tide on Snoke and go after Snoke.
And that pushes his pin, the final notch there.
Yeah. So whatever takes place between that and then Rey, after her training, getting to that point with Kylo, they're going to meet up. And they kind of suggest it in some of these trailers where Kylo Ren's holding out his hand, what that entails. I think they're going to join powers and go after Snoke. In my mind, I kept thinking that maybe Rey gets captured by Snoke, or vice versa. Kylo gets captured and one of the two goes to try to help the other, in turn fighting Snoke. Kind of like the old trilogies, this particular one might kind of play the same, where it's the stepping stone and there's a lot of kind of backstory and a lot of things going on, but you're not going to get any final answers. You're not going to really know what's going to go to the third one, which Donnie was kind of saying to Snoke was going to disappear, kind of like Darth Vader did in the original trilogy. So I think that might happen. I think they kind of want to keep that Star Wars story.
The trope.
Yeah.
The story arc.
But I think Kylo and Rey will get together and fight Snoke. And I think this is going to turn into the end of the First Order and the end of the Jedi Order. And maybe they bring back, what's it called? Order of the Wills, I think it's called. Now, Order of the Wills, they say it in passing in a bunch of different movies. It's very subtle. Rogue One mentions it. It's kind of a backstory of where it's like using the ultimate force.
Almost like the gray Jedi philosophy kind of thing.
Qui-Gon Jinn mentions it.
I've heard that been like poo-pooed, but you're right. Like they with the Rogue One, they kind of hinted on it, which makes you think that that's still in the back of their head, is that this not quite dark, not quite light, but pulling from both kind of thing. I think Gray Jedi has already been shot down. I don't think that's a thing, but killing the Jedi Order for this new resurgence of whatever it may be, the mix of the two or playing off both. I think you're right. I think you're right on point.
In my mind, I see Rey being the light, Kylo being the dark, them coming together, turning to gray. And that's where the Order of the Wills kind of comes into play. And you hear it a little bit, but I don't know as like a full story mode thing that Star Wars and Disney is trying to go with.
Yeah, what that would look like.
The hardcore people will know, like us, but the normal people going to watch this who think they might be fanboys, but maybe they're not, but they just like Star Wars and the name and the brand, they're not going to really notice that. and then maybe they won't go that direction because of that. But in my mind, I really want that to happen, to where there's no order, there's no good, there's no bad, there's just straight up people that can use the Force. The prequels became too dogmatic, and I think we need like a restart. And maybe that's the restart they need to kind of go into this entire new thing. Who knows? But that's how I think it's going to play out. Snoke puts away Rey, and Kylo come together to fight him for the good. Whatever the good is, we'll see.
One thing is they did mention that we will find out, or that Daisy straight up said, it's pretty evident that whose Rey's parents are. So I think that we will find that out in this movie, which is comforting because I want to know.
Well, think about this. Who is Anakin's real parents?
Well, midichlorians, right? He was manufactured by the Force or whatever. He was
manufactured by Snoke.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. He's been around. Like, I think that honestly, Snoke's heritage or Snoke's background is that he's older than Yoda. I think he's 1,000 years old at this point. I mean, the theory or the rumor that Snoke was kind of, imagine like the Mummy, where he's feeding off other people's powers and gaining strength himself. So like he said that, even Han Solo said, well, Snoke's just using you, Kylo. He's just using you for your power, and then he'll cast you aside. So maybe that's a clue to him gaining power off of being around these Force-sensitive people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not many left.
And someone's going to kill Luke. Someone's going to kill him. It could be any of the three, Snoke, Kylo, Rey.
Do you think it's happening in this movie? I don't think so.
I don't know. Mark Hamill keeps saying it blows his mind, so I'm thinking he didn't think he was going to get killed off.
Yes, something.
It's like they're not going to take two main people in two movies, though. You really think that?
I heard Leia doesn't die, but Laos, what were you saying?
What happens if it's just like the guy who does it's like a random, like a total rando stormtrooper is like gun jams? He's like, oh no! He's like first day, and that he's like, whoa!
Finn kills her on accident. Phasma. Another thing I was thinking about is like, is Finn going to kill Phasma, or is Phasma going to kill Finn?
I think they'll have a standoff. I don't think anybody's going to kill anybody. I think she'll get her leg pinned down in some rubble and they'll run away, and then she'll survive again somehow. I don't know. Before we wrap it up, Ryan, which of the theories do you want to move? Because you're going to be the one sitting next to us in the theater, and if you tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, who's that?" I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. Just lean over to the other side and ask that guy. But what are you thinking out of these theories? What sounds like it might be the way it unfolds?
I think all three different theories have
no answer is incorrect.
Well, yeah,
incorrect answer.
I think all three of them are very sound. I've heard little bits of each of them, as a matter of fact. I guess my only real theory is I think Luke is going to be obviously more involved into this movie, and I think he'll have a big part towards the middle or the end of the movie, whether it be in regards to if there's a fight with Snoke or something. I think there is something there. That was really kind of my only thoughts on it, because I think everybody touched on little bits, but you guys are obviously more entrenched into the Star Wars universe than I am, and more enriched with information. So that's
Ryan,
yeah.
you're saying that Rey is going to be Snoke's apprentice, and it's going to be Kylo and Luke versus Snoke and Rey. That's what you're saying?
Dude, there's a fair chance that could be the outcome. We don't have any idea.
Wait.
I'm just messing with you, man. But
no,
but that's
I didn't say that. No, I don't know. I really don't have much of an opinion afterwards. Maybe.
All right. So let's just do a quick vote. Last 2 minutes here. Unless I know, are you itching to say something else, man?
No, no, I'm good.
Come on, you can't. I know you had some Lobot theory. Just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, are they gonna show where Luke's been going potty on this island? Like,
he has a house.
Does he have a little
house on the side, man?
Let me come back around real quick. I think Luke's gonna have more of a more to gain in this movie than what the previews have led on.
You think he's going to take up a lightsaber? You think he's actually going to slay some people, knock some people down with that thing?
I think it might even come down between him and Kylo. I don't know.
They're going to pull a Rogue One Darth Vader scene with Luke just going ham on somebody. That's
he's gonna have a major role in either how, if like Dane says he dies, possibly not a spoiler because we don't know yet. He'll have a major role in how Rey and Kylo Ren move forward if they do team up, just like how Obi-Wan had that fight with Darth Vader and looked at Luke and get slashed down. I don't know, maybe. You never know.
All right. So, and Dane alluded to this as we were talking before this started, is that Rey in the trailer spot that I, again, have been dark to, haven't seen, she does the thing and someone's lightsaber hits her hand. Do we think this is one of the things where at the last second, Luke's going to show up and just start wailing, or just to provide that support that they needed right before they crash? Or is that what we're kind of talking about here? Or what do you think?
Wait, unless Kylo Ren dies.
Could be. All right.
We gotta. Oh, Laos's head went to the left. His chin went this way. I think that's a thought.
All right, I've got final questions. All right, just let's just do a quick poll. We can just do all at the same time. Does Leia die? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
No. I say no. Does Kylo Ren turn to the light side? Yes or no?
For a short time.
Yes.
I don't think this movie. Maybe next movie. I think they're building him to turn to the light side. Something's crazy is going to happen. Maybe that flip-flop happens in the third movie. I don't think it's happening in this movie.
Unless he dies.
Does Luke die in this movie? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No. Man, we are divided. All right. Does Rey turn bad? And then by bad, I mean, does she say, I'm going to side with you, Kylo, and then do something bad?
Hope so.
I don't think she will.
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to play out how people think. People think they're going to flip flop.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm betting against you, but I'm with
Will
you.
If it does happen, kudos, cool. Yeah. But I don't know.
So Dane, real quick, let me throw a little Dragon Ball Z in here because
that's relevant.
No. Dane's a huge Vegeta fan. So Vegeta.
Hey, we all like the Vegeta. Wait.
Vegeta, offensive,
right?
Instinct, yes.
Yeah, but then as time went on, he got to know Goku, became better, became a quote-unquote good guy. Then Majin Buu Saga got the evil back in him. Is there a Kylo Ren sort of portrayal there?
Kylo Ren kind of back and forth thing?
Kind of back and forth. Exactly. That's my point.
I don't think they're – so backtracking on Kylo Ren's timeline, I think Han and Leia knew that he was bad, sent him to Luke's school to try to turn the dark side away, but it wasn't enough. So I think the dark side has always been in Kylo for whatever reason, and there's no getting rid of that. I think in this movie he's fighting that because he killed his dad, and he just can't bring himself to killing his mom, to where he's fighting that inside.
I still think back to mine. I think that he was always a good side, and then he just said, I'm sick of mom and dad, Han Solo, being these rebel fighters, and I'm just sick of them telling what to do. I'm more strong than they think I am. I'm stronger than Uncle Luke, and I can prove it to you. And that's when he starts down the dark path. Sure. He kills Han Solo to prove that he is stronger. Then he gets pissed off at Snoke because he's a whiny little teenager, the attitude of one, and then he goes, tries to lick his wounds and come back to the better side, which is why he won't kill Leia. That's what I think, but that's kind of opposite what you guys are saying. But they're all good speculation, man. So I think we're all onto something, and we're gonna see something. Somebody will be right and somebody will be wrong. I don't know what stakes are for this, but we will find out in about 5 days, my friends.
I just keep doing Pretty Woman thing.
God.
She's not Pretty Woman Luke. She's not gonna Pretty Woman Luke. She's not gonna do it.
I don't know. It's fine. Whatever.
All right. Well, on that note, I think unless you guys have any final thoughts, we can end this thing.
Question for Ryan. Not Star Wars, but Dragon Ball Super. Is Vegeta going to get the offensive ultimate whatever?
Ultra Instinct? Yes, of course he is. He's driven to do so, and he was also in the same Ultra universe that Goku was when they both focused their minds and figured it out. So, yes, he will get it, but he will be kicked off before Goku and Jiren's next fight.
Okay.
I started watching the dubbed over Dragon Ball Z Super.
Did you?
Where it's like condensed version. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's actually pretty funny. Dub them over, and then it's just like expedited, and there's real raunchy. Yeah, it's good stuff.
My last question for this is: will Dane get spoiled before seeing the movie again?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
It's gonna happen. Wear a diaper.
I feel it.
Just don't go to the bathroom.
Wear a diaper.
I'm just gonna
Just don't
beeline
go to
it
the bathroom.
straight to my seat. La 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 la. Just like stick my head in my popcorn bucket until it starts.
All right. Well, I won't text you and tell you any spoilers. I promise, Dane. But
Okay.
I will.
Then just go
No
completely dehydrated, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no guarantee that I'm going to see it before or the same day as you. So if I happen to see it after you guys, don't text me.
So we should
Okay.
send you photos.
I'll give you the okay. I'll give you the A-okay, and then we can discuss.
And remember, you guys can always tweet to Dane at DTMerch. Anytime you see their movie.
Yeah.
Just go dark. Just go dark.
I am dark.
Don't be
It's dark.
Just go dark. I'm dark.
Except for freaking, I'm watching football, and then I see Ray's holding, and then I don't know what to
Dang!
think.
Damn it! I was hiding.
It is just there's
Stop!
three
I haven't.
things.
All right, that's it. That's it. Where can they find you guys? That's it. Goodbye. Where can they find you?
You already told them where you can find me. So.
That is DTMerch.
Find Dane in the bathroom. Find him in the bathroom the night he goes to see Star Wars.
I will
Right,
kick a
that's-
towel.
That's where that kid found him last time. And hey, Dad, could you believe that they killed Han Solo? Dane just dragged his head and give himself a swirly.
He was so
Well,
mad.
He was so mad. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Mr. Lossman, where can they find you?
At Mr. Rossman.
On Twitter, Instagram, ¿Por qué?
On Twitter.
Okay.
Somewhere in the link.
Yeah. Underneath the bridge, most likely.
All right. I wouldn't go looking for him there. Rye Guy, where can they find you?
On Twitter and Instagram at Brewboy13.
Of course, and you can find me at the Brewmasters Club on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anything you desire. Please join our Facebook group. It is called Craft Brews Geek News. If you want to talk speculation and all sorts of stories, we talk about beer, we talk about geek news like this, we talk about Star Wars, all sorts of stuff. We did not do an episode last week. I apologize again. This is the episode that we're doing before the episode, The Last Jedi comes out. We will do an episode hopefully before and after, maybe a short one before or a short one after, because we'll probably be intoxicated. But you guys can follow along there. If we do a live commentary before we go to the movie just to get caught up, we will stream that on this channel as well. So stay tuned for all that. A lot of content coming in. I'm sorry for the holiday schedule. We have a lot going on. You have a lot going on. The next time you see us or hear from us, I guess that would be, we will talk about our top beers of 2017, as well as geek stories, movies, Star Wars, everything else that's going on. Played a lot of video games. I know me and Laos got PS4s. I've got the new Zelda DLC that we had to talk about. Bunch of stuff that we're going to play, so please do stick along. But as we sign off here, use the hashtag Brewmasters Club Cast to participate in the show. Oh, last question. Does Chewie eat a porg, you guys think, in this movie? Does he eat one?
Yes.
Eat a porg. You think so?
Sure. I'd like to see that.
I think it's feasible. I don't know if Disney has the chutzpah to pull that off, but maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah. Breaking to you.
That's it. Well, thank you once again for episode 56 of the Brewmasters Club cast, Craft Brews and Geek News. Laos, as we say at the end of every episode.
That's how it goes these days.
And that's it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Enjoy The Last Jedi, and we hope that you're sticking with us. And we will talk to you later this week.
Ish.
That's it.
Well done.
You've been listening to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Grab a beer with the guys and be sure to subscribe to catch additional content. Add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. Chat with the guys on Twitter at Brewmasters Club and Facebook and online at www.brewmasters.club. Cheers!